Hello, and welcome everyone to the application demo for the Micro Business Grants Round 1. Just to bring your attention to a few items on the start or the home page, in the upper right corner are two buttons. This one here, Accessibility, will allow you to make visual changes to the page like spacing, font size, etc. And the button to the right of that is your Language button. If you select a language from the drop-down menu here, you can change the language on the page. But please note that the information within those fields needs to be completed in English. Toward the bottom of the page are a few Q&A items related to the review process. And if we move back up toward the two buttons here, we have the Start New Application button for those applicants that have never started their application. We have the Sign Into Existing Application for those applicants that have either started the application and did not complete it and need to go back into that same application before they have submitted, or for the applicants that have completed the application and need to see and check the status of their application in the portal. So let's get started. In starting the new application, you will need to enter all of your information here, starting with your first name. So we will go ahead and make sure that your password meets the requirements on the left. And here you will enter your mobile telephone number. And select the option to agree to the consent for electronic signatures and documents, and then select the Register button. On the mobile device that you registered, you should receive a confirmation code where you will enter the items here and then confirm. And notice that the page now allows you to apply for that micro business grant. After selecting that button, notice that your name and your email information has been transferred to this page. However, the address information is still needed, so we will go ahead and enter that now. As you begin to type in the name of the street address, you will see the options show for the address closest to your location should match the location of your address. And notice that once you enter that information, the city, state, and zip code will deploy at that point. You want to add your date of birth and your social security or ITIN number here in this field here. The percentage of ownership field is needed in order to determine your percentage within the company. So here's where you would enter that number. Your telephone number will not be needed as you've already entered that information previously. So we can go ahead and accept the SMS text policy. This will allow you to receive updates as it relates to the program and/or updates related to your particular application. Submit ownership and continue. Now you will enter information about your particular company, the name and address and so forth. So I will go ahead and enter that. If you have a DBA, you will enter that information here or put NA in the field. Does your business have an EIN number? Here's where you would indicate either yes or no. If yes, enter your EIN number here. The business address, again, will need to be entered. And again, if that item matches the listings, you will see that the address will show up here. The fields will automatically be filled based on that information. And now we will enter the telephone number of the business. Additional questions, if you are nonprofit or for-profit business, can be answered here. Your business entity type, the state of that formation, and the date that the business was legally registered. Please pay attention to that information. If you have a business website URL, you want to enter that here or enter NA if not applicable at this time. And we can continue. So going to the next page, we need to enter the primary use of the grant. You have a drop-down menu here with different items. Please select one of those items that applies. Enter your annual gross receipt amounts, which should match your tax return. In this case, I'm designating that amount to be $2,400. The number of current full-time employees is also important. All of the fields that have an asterisk are important to your application, as well as additional information that you might need is indicated by this info icon here above the fields. Additional demographic information will be entered here, which provides options for your customer base, the NAICS code and such. If you do not know your NAICS code, you can obtain it by clicking on the link there. And if you type in the options, and I will be selecting that as my NAICS code. You can also select the remaining demographics here, women-owned and veteran-owned, a few items that need to be entered with regards to the information for your demographic here. Once you've completed these fields, you can go ahead and select continue to move forward. Here is the page where you will enter disclosure questions as it relates to your particular business to determine your eligibility. So as of the date of the application, is your business open and operating? All of the questions on this page are extremely important in processing your application. Please make sure that you review and read the materials with regard to these questions so that you can answer them correctly and truthfully. This question asks about your business tax returns, if you prepare them yourself. If the answer is no, you will need to provide the name of the tax preparer or firm that prepares your taxes. And the telephone number. So go ahead and complete that as well. If your business has fewer than 5 full-time equivalent employees currently, and you had fewer than 5 full-time equivalent employees in 2019 and 2020, both of those answers must be true to answer yes to this question. And if so, please indicate with a yes here. If you're the majority owner of the business and the business was your primary means of income in 2019, again, both answers must be true in order to answer yes to that question. And also, if you were a recipient of a small business COVID-19 relief grant for the state of California, you would indicate yes or no here. We're going to continue. And now we are at the place where we will need to identify verify your identity with a government issued ID. We utilize Persona, which is a third-party platform to prevent fraud, and it's also a mitigation process. It will allow us to verify your identity and protect against identity theft by comparing your selfie. So we will now begin. Select the Begin Verifying option and select one of the IDs that you would like to verify. In this case, we will use a driver's license. Now, what's recommended is that you upload a photo front and back and save it in your files. I've already done that. So in this case, once I select upload a photo, I can select the UKG photo that I have here. And I would like to use this photo. Again, at this time, I will take a photo, upload the photo of the back of that driver's license. Once that is complete, you will see that the system will now process those uploads. They have been verified. And I will get the indicator that it has been successfully verified, and I can continue. With regard to my financial details, we utilize at Lendistry a third-party technology called Plaid to set up the ACH transfers. This party does not share your personal information without your permission and does not sell or rent it to outside companies. We primarily use this technology only to verify your bank accounts statements. So we will go ahead and continue here. If your banking institution is listed here, you can go ahead and select that. There are quite a few that will be listed here. You can search by name. In this case, I'm using Chase, so I will utilize that one. Now we will authenticate that information. It will take me to the sign in for that banking institution. Here's where I will enter my information. They will need to verify my identity by my mobile phone. Again, you will get a code that will be sent to your phone. Here's where you will enter that information and submit. And now I will see my accounts here. I will select which ones I want to utilize for sharing. If I wanted to identify additional account holder names or additional account numbers, I can do that here. However, I'm going to go ahead and continue here. Notice that my account information is here where I will confirm that. It lets me know that my profile information and my statements will be shared with that third party that's been authorized. I need to select that I have read and accepted those terms and conditions, and now I can connect the account information. Now the application is requesting access so that Lendistry can manage that information. Once you select allow and select your bank account here, continue. And now I can upload the application certification and the other items that are requested here on this page. Remember that those pages will need to be uploaded in PDF format. Again, those files should be saved on your device. So I will select this option to browse my files here. I have a PDF file here already set up, and I'm uploading those files one by one. Once it is completed, you will notice the submitted option here. I go to the next option for my proof of business organization. Again, I'm selecting the PDF file here, submit it, and then the final 2019 federal tax return. Select it and submit it. Now, there may be additional documentation that may be needed to verify, but these items that show on this page are the ones that you can submit at the same time that you submit your application. We will continue here. Now you can review all of the information that you've entered, your name, address information, telephone number, social security number, all of your business information here. You do have the option to select the edit if you need to make any changes to that information. We recommend that you do that at the time that you are sending the information in prior to submission. So if you have any changes that you need to make, please go ahead and make them at this point, and you can verify that information is correct before you submit. If you need to come back to the application for any reason, you can select the save and come back later. Otherwise, check this box indicating that you would agree to the terms and conditions, everything is good, and you will submit the application. Once the application is submitted, you will receive notification on the screen, lets you know that that has been submitted and is currently under review. You can return to the dashboard and you will be able to see that that application has been submitted with the information, with the confirmation number for that particular application. Thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful day.